Pragmata has had a disproportionate impact in the Twitter dialogues. So my thing, right, I saw this tweet, Pragmata, Japanese voice actor, Japanese, so why is it when a white child is depicted, a grown black woman is playing her for the English dub? They're Netflixing voice actors now too. And when I first saw that, I was like, yeah, this guy makes a good point. Where are all those people who are like, the VA race must match the character race? Because, right, remember, all of us are the normal people who have been like, yeah, that shouldn't matter. It's, can you do the voice well? That's the only thing that should matter. And the crazy people on the left told us, no, that's bad and racist, and the voice must match the character race. And so we saw a bunch of white people losing their jobs while also simultaneously defending the fact that black people have voiced either white or Asian characters. And you can't have both at the same time. You can't have a faction of people saying, yes, only merit, and a faction of people saying race and gender, whatever, must match. Because we all know that those people saying must match are trying to get rid of certain specific people from being able to do VA jobs, as we could have seen with ProZD getting his comeuppance. And so I just kind of passed this over as like, yeah, obviously this is just a no-brainer fucking question at this point, right? Everyone should agree with this. However, it seems like almost everyone, including everyone that pushed back on the leftists for the whole like race must match the character thing, got simultaneously mad at this guy. And it's like, why are all these people getting mad at this guy? This guy didn't start the discourse. This guy is continuing the discourse in the correct direction. If you are going to say you should fire that white voice actor because they cannot voice a black character, by that same token, you should also say this black woman should not voice this white character. And if you are not going to hold them to their standards, you are actively making space for them to continue infiltrating and pushing more shit on the rest of us who don't want it. Do I want to have racial voice actor casting? No, but I'm not the one who introduced it. These are the rules we must play by. We cannot sit here and say, yes, fire the white voice actors for voicing black people, but it's okay for the black voice actors to voice the white characters because they did a good job. You can't do that. You can't have that. It's either all merit or all racial. Remember when VA work was all about how skilled and dynamic their voices are? You miss the old days? Yes, I do too. This shouldn't even be a conversation. It should be, did she do a good job voicing this character? If yes, who the fuck cares? Who cares if she's black or Asian or like fucking, I wanted to say Korean and Mongolian, but they're both Asian. Who cares? She could be any amalgamation of like the 72 gender soup and it wouldn't fucking matter as long as she did a good job. The problem is you can't say she did a good job, therefore leave her alone, while her side is advocating for racial casting. Because they will win and you will lose. And so I said, are we really doing the social justice warrior thing of demanding the voice actor matches the way the character looks? Sorry, but I'm not doing this double standard stuff to just make a point. Voice actors should be given the role because they fit the characters. I think her voice was perfect for the characters. This person would be absolutely correct in any normal functioning world. Unfortunately, we live in clown world, and if we do not hold the social justice warriors to their standard that they created and they forced upon us, causing people to lose their jobs over it, then what are we doing? We are going to lose. We are going to lose. And this isn't, again, I'm not singling out this one person because a lot of people who were against the social justice warrior race casting said this same exact thing. You must hold them to their standard. And this person down here also went further and said, it's not when it's even this voice actor's own standard. She literally did an hour-long interview where she demanded race-based casting and supported the harassment of white voice actors who play black characters. And remember, this interview was while she was recording lines for Diana. And he has a screenshot here saying to Chibi, because I guess Chibi might have also said the same shit. Both voices are great. I don't give a fuck what the skin color you have is. Just do a good job as a voice actor and that's fine with me. Restricting voice actor work to match skin color of a character is horrible and needs to full stop. It's blatant segregation of the industry. I agree, but you cannot stand there and say, I will defend you taking over white characters and also you demanding racial-based casting elsewhere. That's what's going to happen. That is what's happening, because all of us are going to defend this on our principle rather than holding the other side to their principle. My principle is it should be merit-based, not race-based or gender-based, but we can't have that. We can't have that, unfortunately. And so this screenshot said she's a black supremacist who spent an hour crying about colorblind casting of white people voicing black characters. And this is a screenshot that says, I think this is from Grok. Her most substantive public comments touched on a political adjacent theme, appearing in a candid interview about acting, identity, and the British film and theater industry. YouTube discussion on colorblind casting and related topics. Key points from her remarks include colorblind casting and representation. She critiques colorblind approaches as often impractical because they ignore lived experiences like class, race, and cultural context. She notes being frequently cast in upper middle class roles despite her own working class background, raised in areas like Gorton, Hume, Patmore, and Crawley. She prefers roles that feel authentic to her mixed Kenyan-Yemeni heritage, mother Kenyan, father Yemeni. She grew up more connected to her Kenyan side. She supports diversity, but argues it can feel like shoehorning without deeper structural change in the industry. Authentic storytelling and identity. She defines black work as projects written, produced, directed, and distributed by black creators that genuinely represent the diaspora. She has turned down roles she felt were inauthentic, e.g. due to lacking cultural specificity or language ties to Swahili and Luo, and advances work for diasporic network storytelling over two-dimensional representations. She doesn't sound like her lived experience should inform an android character very well. Exactly. When you are dealing with people who believe that their identity matters for the character that they're voicing, you cannot have this merit-based, we don't care approach. They will win, they will usurp, and then you will never have any, like, genuine merit-based casting again. It will all be based on identity. You cannot use your principle against people who are actively using your principle to harm you. But this guy also, fucking bless this guy, one of the few fucking people on Twitter linked sources. Holy shit, I love him. He linked the full fucking interview. And there is, in fact, a section here on the limits of colorblind casting.
Our goal, you know, we're really trying to make this full TV show, and you can help us. You can help us make 6 absolute episodes, which will be phenomenal. So yeah, please subscribe. Please subscribe, and please
donate
to the Kickstarter and donate. Let's do please donate. And
please donate. Oh, please donate.
Why'd they say it so many times?
Donate.
What the fuck is happening?
Let's have that one in. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Amazing.
So I went to drum school, auditions, and I got through, and I got offered a place.
They're giving DSP a run for his money.
I wanted to do this in the industry. I kind of was, I asked my mum if I should go to uni or drama school, and my mum said, you should do drama school while you're young, while your body is young. You'll be tired.
We're still in the intro.
Like,
Get
humongous
to the interesting part. Who is this woman again? She's the voice actor for the little white child android thing in Pragmata.
Is like we've had you in our house and we've just been chilling and just been like talking about like normal work, and you're not one
Why
of those
are his fingernails painted
like,
black and white? What am I looking at?
The work that you do, you're always like, oh, sick. Yeah,
it's nice to know you as a human being.
Yeah, and to know that like acting is something that you actually
working class, and her mom went to uni multiple times as an adult. Wait, that's actually a good point. Hold on a minute. I was the first person on my dad's side of the family to go to college. That's working class, man.
You just like live.
Yeah,
like it's not. I don't really get like the, you know, hey man, I'm trying to make $1 million.
Oh right, like the hustle.
Yeah. And it's like, but it's also like you're like she's crazy with it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I would say like Grace is one of my favorite actresses. Like she's like crazy with it. But like so, like no legit. Like,
she's crazy.
With it. But you know what I mean? You know, like when you see Michael Jackson dance and you're like, fuck. I feel the same when I see you act.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the way that you are as a human being really, and
it's crazy how there are actors insisting you can only play someone exactly like yourself. Maybe this is why English VAs suck. They can't act. 1,000%. 1,000%. I mean, there was always issues with like English voice actors in the past because a lot of people saw like voice acting for anime specifically as like beneath them, like a lower kind of caste of job. And so we always kind of got like not always the best in English voice acting, which kind of sucked. And now compound that with the like well, now the identity of the voice actor and the character have to match. You know, fucking holy shit.
Hearing that background shows that, like, you know, acting.
What's funny is this girl is talented enough to get by on merit, and yet she still advocates for the racial-based stuff. Yeah, it's confounding. It's absurd.
It's just like the thing that you like love to do, and it's also nice to hear it from that perspective, because from this whole from this series, while we've been doing this podcast, we've been doing a lot of talk about like your whys, like what is your why?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to say that before I wanted to give you flowers before we go in. Because it's nice to be like
Flowers handed.
flowers. yeah. They're in the pod over there. yeah.
No, I really appreciate that. That's very, very kind.
No worries, man.
So obviously we've been talking this week about like casting, and I
shirt's
just wanted
riding
to kind of ask, like, what is and you've been in loads of things, as we've seen, both screen, theatre and audio stuff.
So this is even a voice actor who's been in a lot of roles in a lot of different mediums and still advocates for the racial-based casting. Interesting.
And not a lot of actors, I believe, are as multifaceted in regards to acting as that.
Yeah.
What is a typical casting experience like for an actor? And maybe what do you also expect out of the casting experience?
So I don't know if this is really reflective of how it goes for like other actors or for the majority of actors. Primarily, I'm getting my material through my agent. They send me through work. Sometimes it's been a bit more. Sometimes you're just taping, sending off tapes. That's kind of gone up, I think, since the pandemic. And there's kind of pros and cons for that. There's a lot of actors who cannot afford the travel expenses.
Yeah.
So it's much better to tape from home. There are other people who feel like they are stronger in person. So it's kind of frustrating to be locked behind like tapes. But yeah, through tapes. Sometimes I go for an in-person meeting, but like I said, I just don't think that's happening as much anymore. And
you can
for
tell she's upper
games,
middle class
I do.
because she pronounces the full words in her sentences.
I would not have any idea how to tell the different accents of a British person. Probably much like, you know, not Americans have trouble pegging some of our more niche accents to where they come from. You know, like you can recognize like the Southern and the Middle American, and obviously like the fucking Valley girl. But then when any niche accent comes up, it's like, definitely upper middle class. Who are we pegging now?
A lot of tapes. There's not so... there are maybe slightly more auditions in person, actually, in the booth. But primarily I'm getting that material through my agent. I know that there's Spotlight directory for open castings. But yeah, that's my main experience. The casting process. And sometimes there's several stages for callbacks. There was one piece that... I don't know if I could. Okay. No, but there's a few stages to it. A few stages to it, and the last, I think there were 4 callbacks, and the last one was on a Zoom audition with the actor because they were based in
a different country.
I don't know why I said this because it's not like I signed an NDA. No, I don't think I signed an NDA. It's out.
Okay.
But they were in Tokyo, so they were very, very far ahead of us and behind us, and. That was a lot. There was a lot of process. It's a lot of hours of your, time to prepare, I think, thoroughly for that kind of stuff. Which,
Spicy cat raid. What the hell is this?
It's an interesting thing. The cast, like that kind of process. The amount of work that you're doing is almost the majority of it is when you're not being paid to work. Like in terms of workload. Like I could. There was a tape that I sent in for a game, and I maybe spent 8 to 10 hours on it, which I know some voice actors are going, you dummy, why you spending that long on it? But it just took the time that it took, So most of the work that you're doing.
That seems a little weird to me because it's like, the most of the work that I do is also when I'm not getting paid because it's off stream. What does she mean by this? Like, you're gonna have to spend time getting to know the character if you want to do a good job. Like, I don't understand.
Isn't actually when you're on set being paid to do it. I think that's an interesting side to this.
Thing. What do you prefer? Do you prefer like in-person stuff, or do you prefer like I'll do the tape or I'll do the recording and then I'll send it off and then I can just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I feel like I prefer tapes.
Okay.
My agents prefer I do person. I just feel like the thing I don't mind either process, but I feel what's hard about in-person auditions is that you'll have this kind of very, you know, like, oh, how did you get here? Was that?
Yeah.
Oh, centralized. It's so hot, isn't it? And
She doesn't like small talk. Is what I'm getting.
And your kid's dead.
Right,
And
right.
it's too much. I think I play into that kind of jovial, kind of cordial nicety
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
I find it very hard to switch that off.
Right.
And then go into, you know, because it's not like they go away for like 10 minutes and then you're literally going straight into it. And I just find it really hard to make that switch. Is that kind of like...
They even have a donate now pop up in the middle of the screen. What the fuck?
British niceties, kind of like, and then you're trying to do something. I find that you can just eliminate that when you're doing tapes at home, and you can obviously go it as many times as you need to, but maybe that's one of the problems about tapes, that you do it so many times it becomes static and you can't respond to feedback and change. Because I think the biggest part of an audition is that they're seeing how much you can change it, right? Not just how well your initial take on the material is. They're trying to see how well do you respond to a note, or
did she just self-report being low-skilled at acting? That's kind of what it sounds like.
Interpret this.
Yeah.
I think there's merit in both, but for that part, maybe I prefer tapes.
That's really interesting because
Maybe
I
I'm a
think
control freak, but I don't know.
I think no, because I feel like I would like general meetings as a writer.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm always like, get this in person. Because I can't do the Zoom thing. And obviously now that we're trying to build this TV show, everything's been via Zoom. We'll get you on a Zoom, Google Meet actually. We'll get you you on a G Meet.
Yeah, because Zoom is jarring.
But yeah, I mean,
Zoom is so dead.
You know, unfortunately, like I zoom the least.
We're halfway through this
G Meet
section.
or Microsoft Teams, and I hate Teams, but I do Microsoft Teams for a part-time work, but whatever. Teams is so stressful. But yeah, so everything's via like, you know, a Google Meet.
Yeah, but then all our auditions were auditions were in person. Our callbacks were in person.
Our callbacks were in person, but then it was an initial tape, and I think for ease,
this is over an hour long. We're just looking at this one section here.
But I think when it comes to like general meetings and stuff, maybe when I'm putting my best foot forward, I think it's really funny that you were talking about like the politeness that the sort of fakeness that you have to like turn on. Whereas I feel like for me, I'm anxious actually more about
I also have to question, why is it fakeness to have like cordial small talk, right? Like even if I am in a bad mood, like let's say I was making eggs and I dropped my plate and my eggs went all over the floor and thus my morning has made me grouchy, I'm not fake nice to people, right? Like that's not faking being nice, because like they didn't do anything wrong. Why would I be upset with them?
Things that are out of my control, like the technical difficulties that could possibly happen, or whether I'm in a meeting before the person, and I'm like, oh god, how am I coming here? Am I breaking up? Is it slow? Is there all of that is, and they're like, tell me about your work, and I'm like, but then when it's in person, I feel like I can pretend for an hour. I can be like, but then I think I'm not auditioning for anything. I'm just sort of like.
Aren't you also pretending when you voice the character? Because you're not literally them. Is this why there's such a drive for like the lived experience of the voice actor must match the character? Because like you don't know how to pretend to be something else for a little while? Like what am I actually listening to?
In my best pretend, I'm doing the politeness the whole way through, and I know I'm going in, I'm gonna be polite for an hour, and then I'm gonna crash afterwards.
But
do you know what I mean?
I think that's really interesting, because you're both kind of talking about how you can control the environment the best way possible. So you're going, there's less factors to think about if I'm just in front of you, and there's more factors to think about if I'm in front of you.
Just enjoy one.
But no, it's so interesting.
Which was just stressful for me.
It's so interesting, but that's it, because that kind of like makes me want to ask, like, when you're going for an audition, how much do you think about like the director or like the story as a whole? Are you just like, I'm here for the character and that's it, or do you think about the bigger world of the film or television or theatre show or game?
Okay, regardless.
Or audio story.
Yeah.
You know, you've done them all, you know, so.
So is that a kind of question of like, what do I take into priority, or is it more like a preparation?
Just what you take into priority. Like, do you think if an audition came to your step today, would you just be thinking about the text, or do you start thinking about like the director or what they want? Or
right. It's hard. It depends on how much time you get.
Yeah.
Because you can get an audition from 2 weeks ahead up to, you know, like the night before.
Yeah.
I've seen people a couple of hours before.
Yeah. Crazy.
So if I had all the time in the world, I'm trying to gather as much information about it from every angle as possible. So I'm looking at director, I'm looking at the work that they do, trying to kind of pick up what their kind of taste or style is from that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the material. If I'm getting sent sides, I try and see if it's adapted from anything. I try and find the original
which
material.
Would be the thing I would expect people to do. Yeah.
I've had an audition for something where my character is actually invented for the show, so I went and read the book, and I was like.
And where are they?
In the end. No, but I think it's like if it was.
That's a little weird if you go to read the source material and your character doesn't exist in the source material. For what purpose was that character invented if it didn't exist in the source material? Is the question I would have. Is this like a new plot device, or are they shoehorning something in because it was something that didn't have enough diversity in the original work?
Like up on a wall, you've got lots of spiraling out parts. Just
okay,
there's so many things that could give you ideas. I think for the audition, that's why I do it anyway. In terms of material, I'm trying to prepare the material as much as possible. But I think the character stuff helps in case you are asked to kind of go off maybe the tracks of the text itself. Like I haven't done this in a very long time, but I know some directors do a lot of improvisation.
Right.
Sorry for me to say that word. I actually don't like that word.
Aren't you supposed to be able to improvise as an actor? Like, what the fuck? What are you talking? This whole thing about the limits of colorblind casting and class perception has just been her talking about how bad of an actor she actually is. What is happening? What is going on? I was like, you could even go a step further and like, you look at method actors. Method actors try to like adopt the identity of the character they're playing for a short period of time. And it's like, they do fucking phenomenal jobs.
She's about to gag.
It's actually so bad because
you miss old school VAs you grew up with? Yeah, I mean, like, not all of them were bad. There were some good ones, and some shows managed to get a lot of good VAs all together. Like Cowboy Bebop is a good example of that.
That is a necessary blood lifeline of the performance. You can spontaneously.
Two dogs just died. Go.
I actually cannot take.
You're in a restaurant and you ordered fried chicken, but it gave you a vegan burger.
Actually, I
go.
I could burst into tears actually in an improv class. I have at drama schools. It was like my least favorite subject.
Her voice is very recognizable in absolutely everything she does, and I forget her name frequently. Actually, I really get her confused with like a Hollywood actress who has a very similar name, but I'm just forgetting her name entirely now. She's in like literally fucking everything. She was Riku in Final Fantasy X too, and 10 probably, and she was like, I think Twilight Sparkle also. I can't remember her fucking name. I'm dying. My brain at soup. Tara Strong, thank you. Yeah, Tara Strong, even though her voice is like insanely recognizable in everything she does, you can still tell the like difference between some of the characters. And she's been in interviews where they've asked her to like, can you say this as this character? And she just does it. So it's kind of weird that this guy's even trying to be like, you're at a restaurant, you ordered a chicken parmesan and they gave you a vegan burger, go. And he didn't even ask for her to do it in like a character. So she could pick any character she's voice acted and do it. Whichever one she felt she did the best job in. Jennifer Hale too. Yeah, that's another good example. Seth MacFarlane can do the same. Crispin Freeman, one of my favorite voice actors. Fucking love that guy.
So I know people say you're not meant to, you don't have to be funny.
Yeah.
Everyone's expecting you to do something funny.
Well, improv is so connected to comedy, isn't it?
It's so much, and
I think, do you know what's really funny? I
Fuck, even I did this the other day when we were watching some fucking Christy Gnome's husband's leaked voice messages. Even I did that. I was like, I can do the lewd shit better than this weird dominatrix. Pay me $900 an hour. Fuck, man. And I'm not even a voice actor. Mel Blanc, the creator of Looney Tunes from the 50s, voiced all the characters? Oh, that's crazy.
Maybe, no, I didn't act, but I did go to drama club when I was in primary school.
Yeah, man.
And that was my acting career. And I struggled with improv as well because of the anxiety of like, it's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to, and you're saying something, I'm acting it with someone and they're saying something to me.
Well, yeah, like when you first start, it's very anxiety inducing, you know? Like even not in person, when you first start the improv, it's like, oh man, I'm going to look and sound like an idiot. I don't want to look and sound like an idiot. Like it gets in your head, but you're interviewing someone who's like, not this woman. This is one of the like podcaster people, but the woman on the couch, like she should be able to do this. She's a professional.
Like, where's this? I can do this line really well.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me to make something up, I'm now thinking about all of the things that are possible. They're looking at me, you're expecting something. I'm having to respond to you and then what can I say? And then it's maybe that's why I'm a writer.
Well, yeah.
Because I'm like, these are the lines.
Which is mental, because I guess like from doing drama as a kid.
To be fair, improv and prepared scripted work are two different skills. They are, and like the woman on the couch said, improv is a skill that is expected when you're doing acting. It's like, what do you mean? Like, the longer you're doing a job, the more proficient at it you should get, should you not? And at the beginning of this interview, the lady interviewer praised the voice actor lady for having a large spanning repertoire of acting. Not even just voice acting, but like stage acting and movie acting. Like, she's been in a bunch of different mediums. So again, this is a skill that she should possess, you would assume.
And then during drama in uni and then becoming a director, whenever I was asked at improv, because I was just like a class clown, I was like, yeah, fine, whatever. But I think it's the same thing that you're saying, like, make people laugh. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, joke, I'll figure out a joke.
You are like,
I'll do a joke right now.
Is this why millennial writing is so bad? Everyone thinks improv needs to be a joke. Like, what?
Sometimes when we're having conversations, I can see him just going, where's the joke?
And
then he's like...
It's terrible, but it's like, it's how my brain's wired. Too much of a people pleaser. Please love me.
I think I was like asked to do something in a marketing thing where it's like, just make her laugh, and I just was like, I actually can't do that. I actually cannot do that. I'm the most unfunny person that I know, and that we're just gonna be it's gonna be crickets.
I mean, like, I'll give her that one. When someone puts you on the spot and is like, say something funny, clown woman, you're like,
I'll just make her laugh. I can't do that.
I felt so bad as well because it felt like I was rejecting her.
Yeah. Not
but it's just like I can't do that. I can't do that. But I think to go out, were you asking if I don't have the time, then I do focus on the text and I go break it down as you would objectives and beats and
let's do something political. I miss
I try and fill out as much as I can.
Cool, man. I was gonna ask, do you feel like there's a difference between like the characters that you have been casted as and the characters you want to play?
I do think there's a difference, and I think it's interesting having worked in voice stuff as well. My casting, those are very different.
Wow.
What I get cast for as an actor, like for theatre and screen, is in a completely different world for what I get cast for voice. I'm not sure why that is. I think a big element of it is that it is just sound. It is just voice. You're a lot more free in terms of what you can be interpreted as.
Yeah.
What?
I tend to get brought in for a lot of kids' work, kids' voices, which I kind of really enjoy because they're very... free.
So she likes being cast as children. Interesting. I'm noticing that they named this section the limits of colorblind casting and class perception, and yet the question didn't even come in until almost the end of the segment. Actually crazy.
Young children, before you kind of take on a lot of insecurities or a lot of like discipline moments that go wrong and change your core beliefs or change how you view yourself. There's a lot of freedom in that.
Okay, but like there's freedom in voicing any character, right? Because you're not putting like your thoughts and your experiences and your trauma into a character that you're voicing, right? Like, you have to learn what that character is and then adopt what they are and then portray their feelings. That's what acting is. Am I crazy?
I think it's kind of good practice for me to go and do a character like that every once in a while, because it is just a very different way of seeing life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I play adults as well, but so many different genres, whether it's sci-fi, fantasy, historical, educational. And they're usually characters with a lot of agency, a lot of front-footedness, and you know, whether it's like...
You could be putting your own into it, honestly. It could enhance your perception of the character. It could, sometimes, right? Like, if you've gone through something similar, like if you're playing a character who has had their parents divorce, your experience could help inform that. Or maybe it wouldn't, right? Maybe they had like a cordial divorce and you couldn't understand the depths of like trauma that was faced by the character whose parents divorced. It just all depends, right? Nobody's gonna have like a one-for-one experience. And also, the way that you experience something might not be the way that someone else experiences it, right? And so you have to figure out, even though me and this character that I'm going to voice act have gone through a very similar experience, how has my personality informed how I reacted to that versus how the character's personality informs how they react to it, right? Like, me as an individual, I'm like very soft, demure, and fucking not very easily standing up for myself, right? I'm pretty submissive in all aspects of life, despite my weird ass Boston mouth, right? And if I'm going to voice act for a character that's like a strong warrior woman who always stands up for herself and always is like the first one to say something and always is like jumping in the middle of like any kind of conflict all the time, I would have to take extra time to learn how to put myself into that footprint, because it's obviously not what I am. And even if that warrior character, let's say they see someone get shot in front of them, right? They see someone get shot and killed. They're going to react to that much differently than me, Kirsche, have reacted to seeing that in person. Because we have different personalities, and our personalities basically push forward how we react to things.
Like Manana, or whether it's like Jarben, like they are... I don't know quite, I can't put my finger on what it is about those characters exactly. And with TV and theatre, I am often cast young as well, because I know you can't see, I'm 5'1". I'm 5'1".
I'm a small babe.
I'm 5'3" with these reasons. Yeah.
You're the same size as Kim Kardashian.
Oh, for God's sake.
Whenever man is like, oh, 5'1", and because I never knew that Kim Kardashian was 5'1".
For God's
so whenever
sake.
anyone's like to me, I've said this like 4 times this week, because I'm like at work and stuff, people will be like, oh, how old are you? She's 5'1", bro.
Like she's 5'1".
No,
Is it
she
5'1"?
isn't.
5'1"?
She's 5'1". I think
Donate now!
Bro.
She's I don't know.
Imelda Staunton is like 4'12".
No, but really.
I don't actually know. I don't know why I did that to Imelda. Sorry. Sorry, Imelda, if you're listening.
Imelda Staunton's 5'4", guys. Come on, man.
She's 5'4".
But she's very small. So I think from far away in an auditorium, you might perceive that I'm a teenager.
Right, okay.
So,
that is a child.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
So I think it's an interesting, because it's either young or it's, I don't know how best to describe this genre other than like cop adjacent.
Okay.
Fed adjacent.
What?
So like, for example, in the same working year, I played like a 14, 15-year-old in ballet shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
And then for a TV, I was a 32-year-old mum.
Oh,
but in the same casting year, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And this happens quite regularly. I'm playing like, 16-year-old and then someone a lot older, then back to 60. So it's very, it's very interesting. But I think
just, like,
the biggest thing that stands
normal?
out to me about my TV and theatre casting is the class.
Like, I think that there's like 2 different types of actors, right? There's like an actor that can play pretty much any role you give them. And then there's an actor like Jack Nicholson who pretty much thrives in one kind of role. And it's fine if you're typecast, right? If you do a good job doing it, who fucking cares if you're typecast, right? Angelic Wisdom, thank you. You think a lot of the people on the side of merit don't know that the VA believes the opposite? Again, I don't think it matters if the VA specifically believes it or not. This is an industry-wide problem. And I think that you should be like, hey, this is a problem because this wouldn't have been cast this way if it was opposite. Or she can now be used as a case of if she can, why can't I? Just saying. No, because we had plenty of cases of that in the past, right? The voice actor for Samurai Jack, that's a black man. He did a good job. He should have had that role. But that is, again, you're not going to get anywhere while people are trying to push for replacing certain people in the voice acting industry. The left doesn't give a fuck whether it's meritocracy or race-based. They just want white people to lose. Saren Mathis, thank you. Your standards are mine. I will hold you to whichever is higher. These are things that they should be held to that standard. And if you create enough of a fuss, hopefully it will go back to meritocracy instead of this weird fucking race war bullshit that we have to deal with. Have to disagree or else there's no line in the sand to stop at and we all become race-pushing idiots. So hold them to their own standards, but let's not push everyone out of roles based on the stupidity of the majority. Then the majority is going to win and your side is going to lose. That's just what it is. You can believe differently. I'm just telling you what's going to happen if you don't fight back on their terms. Kratos is a VA by a black dude? Yeah, exactly. And that should be perfectly fine. The white dude who voiced Apu should have been perfectly fine. The white dude who voiced Cleveland Brown should have been perfectly fine. They all did a good job on their voices. The person, I can't even remember who it was, the person who voiced Marshmallow in Burger Bob. Marshmallow was not a transgender person. They were a cross-dresser, and they got the voice actor replaced by a transgender person. Because they wanted more identity-based casting in the show. Personally, say absolutely go after the people that push for the race-based casting, but those who aren't espousing it shouldn't get the same hate. I don't think they should get hate, but they should get pushback for taking a role in an industry that is pushing for race-based casting, yes. You agree on that it's just the who you have to disagree on, or what's the difference between those who want meritocracy and those who want race-based? Because the people who might want meritocracy aren't going to stand up for it. It's very much frowned upon in the voice actor industry to step out of line. And unfortunately, I've had the pleasure of talking to a few voice actors who are like, yeah, you basically can't admit that you're for certain things or talk about certain things if you want to keep getting work. The Kratos VA hated that he was used as an example. Kirsche is right. Exactly. And if the people who are for meritocracy aren't going to stand up and say something about the race-based casting, which, newsflash, they haven't, why should they be given benefit of the doubt? Why should they not be looked at as like, hey, even if you believe this thing, you aren't standing up for it, you're going along with the race-based casting, so why would we give you any benefit of the doubt, right? The Vic Mignogna effect, yeah.
Aspect to it.
Oh.
Okay.
Which is that I don't often get sent working class characters.
Oh.
Which is interesting to me because I am working class.
Yeah.
And I have friends who, we've grown up, have very similar upbringing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a single time I've described a fictional character as working class.
I was born in Manchester. I grew up in Hume and Gorton. For people in Manny, you know that those
Lancashire
places.
Slander. It's northwest.
And then I moved to South London. I spent the majority of my formative childhood in.
Chat, I'm not saying that you can't find characters that are fictional that are working class, obviously. But when I see a character who would be described as working class, that's not what comes to my mind, right? I'm not sitting there watching The Simpsons being like, look at this working class family. I'm just watching The Simpsons, man. I'm not trying to put on a Marxist lens of where can I segregate all of these people in the show that I'm watching? Yeah, you don't normally distinguish. Yeah, exactly. You don't normally that doesn't come to your mind. Burger Bob is legit actual working class. Yeah, and I've never described him as such. He's just my Burger Bob, man. South
London. I live in Patmore Estate. Shout out Patmore. And then I moved to Crawley.
Yeah.
Shout out Crawley.
Shout.
Kind of.
I don't know who Crawley is.
Broadfield.
And
what's interesting is that in all the places that I live, you know what I mean, Gorton, Hume, Patmore, Broadfield, for the people who know those places.
Even
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know what it is.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
And no, that's I'm often playing upper class or middle class, and I think they're often what we deem like colorblind.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Which is a very interesting subject. I would love to know what you guys think of colorblind. But how I often interpret...
Why is she saying it like that? And why is she also putting any sort of importance on her playing upper class characters when she comes from supposedly a middle class, working class background? That's not actual, like, mobility. I don't see why that matters. I don't see why that would have any effect on anything.
How I often interpret is that the character is written white.
Yeah, of course.
And they are just kind of open to who auditions for it. And I just feel like in voice, I've been given much more like East African work specifically. My mum's Kenyan.
Yeah.
My dad's Yemen. Sorry, that's not funny about Yemen. I think of something as I was saying Yemen. Big up Yemen.
Big up Yemen. Big up Kenya. Big up Sierra Leone, big up Congo.
I would like to know what she means by, like, when she receives a character, she just assumes it's written white. Isn't that kind of, like, racist in the first place? Especially if you're doing something for, like, a video game or anime? That's kind of a weird assumption.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is that 5 minutes? I've already sworn.
Yeah,
That's good.
So yeah, I'm Kenyan and Yemeni. I grew up with my mum, so I'm much like more in touch with my Kenyan side.
Yeah.
But I'll even get casting for that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not that I haven't ever, but I think it's maybe once.
Right.
In TV and film, maybe once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
They were interesting.
Yeah.
Some of it was my fault. Some of it wasn't my fault. But that was interesting stuff. Whereas I feel like the game side of it is much more. It's just much more colourful. It's a lot more experimental. It's a lot more bold. A lot more. I think it's brave.
Yeah.
There's just much more diversity in roles that I'm being offered for voice work.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the visual is a big part of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what sets me apart from my friends who've grown up in a very similar.
So it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like she was complaining that she was getting typecast in roles for the Kenyan Yemeni stuff, which I don't even know how you would typecast for that specifically. That seems like very, very niche. But then when she got into video games, she was given roles that were more diverse, and she enjoyed being able to play characters that didn't reflect her. So what exactly is the argument here?
Way in South London, to me, and we have completely different castings. They'll be going up for stuff that's set in London, what they call urban.
Yeah.
Urban, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't find that I go up for that much.
But like,
interesting.
Do you go first?
I don't know. Are you going to respond to that?
I was, yeah.
I would. Maybe it's like I don't know. When I look at you, if you were to walk into my office and be like, "Can you put me in something?" I maybe would. You don't strike me as I don't know.
Tory.
As a Tory. You don't strike me as a Tory.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not giving Boris. Yeah.
No, but I think. Do you know what I think?
Translators note: Tory is a political party in the UK.
I think you although you've moved around a lot, you have London sensibilities.
Yeah, 100%.
I can hear slight African dialect in the way that you speak.
Yeah.
But also, so I don't know.
But then also, what I was gonna say is that, like, obviously.
But then also, you don't have that typical London black girl look or sound. You I don't see you with the 30-inch bust down with the slicked hair and portrayed as. Do you know what I mean? And this is the diversity that we're talking about in regards to work.
Well, yeah, because
like when you say you don't look like, like the typical London girl, I would be like, so she's not white? But then she said like some slicked down hair. Is there something I'm missing? What is the slicked down? Is that like a chav kind of fucking apparel? None of these people come to mind when you think of British.
I was going to say that obviously we've been talking a lot about there being a specific way to write and produce and distribute black work. And so firstly you have to figure out for ourselves, how we define black work, how I define black work, really and truly, is work that has been.
The question was about colorblind casting, and now they're talking about specifically black.
Written, produced, directed, and distributed by black people, and is writing characters that are from some form of the diaspora and trying to represent that in some way. So that's how I really understand black work. But I do understand that we have lots of corporations and organizations that have their diverse work, or they've got like the work that they're putting out at the moment where they're going, no,
the question was about colorblind casting,
of our diverse work or whatever. So I think in those projects, I think that there is a particular genre that black Britishness lies in, and the genre that black Britishness is, it's very kind of two-dimensional. And I think also like, it's really interesting because me and Amado have been talking about like halfway, and the experiences were halfway that we had. We were treated like we had been writing for like 50 years. Like choice of cast, being able to be like, we think Grace would be amazing for this, or being able to be like, oh, we'd like this person, like being able to be in the room and talk to the director, who was phenomenal. Shout out Holly Redwood.
Yes, shout out Holly Redwood, actually big time.
Yeah, big up Holly, love Holly.
The best.
Yeah, man. But like genuinely, like I think we had, do you not think we were given such a great opportunity? We were able to write however we wanted. The majority of our characters were black. Everyone, like what we wanted to be black was black.
Casting?
We were going, we want them from this country, we want this, we want these accents, and you wouldn't get that in film. And I think sometimes when you're just talking about it lightly and you go, it's white supremacy. Yeah. Like I think it can sound really
like fluffy.
But I think that there's definitely a way in which like the imagery of black people. Like, I think there's a way that black people are supposed to look on film. If that makes sense, without sounding like Malcolm X. But I think there's like, because of the people that are making stuff, I feel like they're like, we kind of want our projects to kind of look like this and this when it comes to black Britishness. And I think that's maybe a limitation.
Yeah.
Well, definitely a limitation.
Yes, yeah.
How do you bring Malcolm X into a discussion about colorblind casting? What is happening?
I mean, first of all, I just want to apologize. I did burp earlier. If you're just listening to this, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean that. That was just, it just kind of one of those to escape from your throat. But it's an interesting one because I've actually never, I don't have any childhood kind of home videos, so I can't completely confirm this. I have one somewhere, but I don't believe I ever had a very strong South London accent to begin with. So these kind of indicators that we look for authenticity is interesting. It's like what you say, it's very confined, it's very limited. Even though we know that's not true, we know that there's range to it. We know this. We know this. And there's other people that I know who have really extremely posh accents. Completely RP and are growing up in another estate. Close by. So it's just very.
Do they just completely end that? Do they completely end talking about colorblind casting? Are they not gonna wrap this around? What is happening? What are we talking about here? Did she ever mention a father in her life? She said that she's more in touch with her Kenyan side because she was raised by her mother. And I decided to not take the low-hanging fruit.
Interesting factors into why we speak the way we speak and how we pick up accents. For example, for me, a lot of the majority of my free time, I was listening to TV and playing films. So who was I hearing the most and who was I kind of speaking out loud to the most? It wasn't often other people. So your accent, I feel like some people experience this phenomenon with their kids where they were letting their kids watch, what was it? Is Angelina Ballerina or something, and American kids always British accents.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Anyway.
Like the guy, like the villain in High School Musical 3, who's
I've literally just rewatched this. Who?
You know the one that's supposed to be Sharpay.
Oh.
And she's hello, I'm here to tell.
Yeah.
Who are you supposed to be, girl?
I want it. Jarring. So jarring.
She is annoying.
I had no idea. I recently did a High School Musical and / Camp Rock.
Oh my god, yay!
Man.
Music's in my soul.
No,
Yeah,
honestly, I actually forgot.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
I've never watched it.
I've never watched it. No, yeah. I was getting grilled by her.
I used to force my brother and sister to sing it with me.
Okay, so colorblind equals white according to her? I guess. Again, it's really weird that she's just assuming the character is written white. And then she says she gets more roles that are East African. You see, that doesn't make any sense, I guess, right? Because it's like, if she's saying that she's getting much more East African roles, and she referenced 2 roles that she played that she didn't exactly like, and then she likes video game casting because it's more diverse, meaning she can play characters that aren't reflective of her identity, which I would agree, right? I don't care who the voice actor fucking is.
You've been a bad girl.
In a normal world, I would agree. But I don't know what she means by, like, her visage is something that assists with that, because it shouldn't. Your race shouldn't matter when it comes to voice acting. I don't know what she means by this. It means she can play more black characters? Well, no, because she said that the video game stuff was more experimental and more diverse. It's called They're Dumb, so this is odd. I mean, I guess you have to take it as, what exactly does she mean by diverse? Is she using diverse the way we as humans use diverse? Or is she using diverse the way the industry and communists use diverse to mean less white people? I think by diverse she meant that there are more black characters. I wouldn't really say that there are in video games, though, right? Assuming she's trying to even say something meaningful and not just spewing words. Yeah, I think maybe with this Grok synopsis that we watched, it kind of combined her words, or read rather, kind of combined her words with that other guy's words. Because this, she defines black work as projects written, blah, blah, blah. That was the guy who said that. That was the guy who said this part down here, not her.
For ourselves, how we define black work, how I define black work, really and truly, is work that has been written, produced, directed, and distributed by black people, and is writing characters that are from some form of the diaspora and trying to represent that in some way. So that's how I really understand black work.
This shouldn't have been an argument, but then racial casting shouldn't be an argument at all. There should be no race-based casting. And you have to meet these people in the voice acting industry where they want to bring things, unfortunately.